Hey YouTube, this knife is the 511 SidePick knife. SidePick, get it? Kind of like your sidekick, but SidePick. It's for, this is kind of a boot knife, neck knife for law enforcement, uniformed professionals. Basically 511 makes all sorts of clothes and accessories for those professions. Now the blade length of this knife is about 2¼ inches, right? And you see it is basically, it is full tank construction. I think you can see skeletonized handle. You see a lanyard hole by the pommel, and those textured scales are FRN, fiberglass reinforced nylon. The blade steel is AUS 8, which is Japanese stainless. And the thickness of the blade stock is 4 millimeters. And it is a very lightweight knife. Obviously, it's designed as kind of a last-ditch emergency knife, as well as a small utility cutter for uniformed professionals. Alright, out of the box, it's not razor sharp. It's just, I would say, medium sharp for initial sharpness out of the box. As you can see, with a tip like that, obviously, the design has other uses as well. Alright, close up of the blade, you see, it has a black coating, and it says Blade-Tech, Mike Vellenkamp. He's a head designer for Blade-Tech, and I guess 511 must outsource this, right, to Blade-Tech, made in Taiwan. Now, check out the ergonomics of this. Skeletonized handle provides this ring for retention, which is a pretty good idea if you're talking about a last-ditch knife. Obviously, if you're in some sort of struggle, it's easier to hang on to. And then you see these textured, choked-in portions right there. It allows you to use that as a thumb ramp. And if you're cutting something like utility, you can choke up on both. If you're just cutting something and you want more fine control, you can choke up on both. It's rounded here, which is very good because with your finger in the ring, that round portion, it seats itself in your palm like so, and you end up with this at about a 45-degree angle, right? You can use it slashing or as a punch dagger or as close cutting, grab onto something you need to cut and cut away. So yeah, that's pretty good ergonomics. See the texture of the FRN scales there. All right, and there you see the moderate thickness of the blade stock, 4 millimeters. And as you can see, it is basically slight hollow grind. And then the false edge right there, which you can even, if you want to, you can even choke up all the way if you wanted to. Let me show you the sheath that this comes with. It's an injection molded Kydex. You see the eyelets there, and this is the back. Now they say that this can be used for belt carry, for boot carry, or for neck carry. Right, and it does snap in, like so, and it is silent, and it does hold it in. All right, now it has these textured portions right here, so you can push off with your thumb when you deploy it, and the retention ring just makes it incredibly, it makes it incredibly easy to deploy. All right. Now you want to make sure you deploy it from the right side, because if you deploy it this way, the blade is, or the edge, I should say, is actually right there. Okay, so be careful you're deploying it from the right side, meaning the dull part there. And yeah, I mean, it's a pretty nice sheath. It's a pretty well-made sheath, I would say. All right, and here is a comparison with the SidePick to two other assorted nasty implements. On the right, we have the Smith & Wesson HRT bear claw knife, also called the badge knife. And to the left, we have, that is the Tops key knife Model C. It's the Tops harpoon key knife. And as you can see, the Tops knife and the 511 knife are pretty much the same overall length, and they have similar ideas in mind. You know, they're basically small shanks. To the right, you see that badge knife kind of has a different idea as far as the blade, more of a fearsome close cutter and tip slasher. But as far as the skeletonized handle with the retention ring, you know, exact same idea. Basically, if you're reduced to using such a small blade, it's probably such a desperate situation that you're going to need all the help you can get in retaining it. So that skeletonized handle, it is a good idea, I must say. All right, so you know, which kind of design do I prefer? Well, I kind of prefer, you know, I kind of prefer something like this, because, you know, hold on, because that blade design, you know, it's going to cause massive damage. I just feel when you're talking about blades that are like less than 3 inches, you know, you're not really talking about much stabbing anymore. I mean, it's a tiny length of a blade. So I kind of prefer the ones like this that are close cutters and nasty slashers, and then when they get close enough, they're close cutters. So that's what I prefer. However, if you do prefer, you know, if you do prefer more of a kind of an old school dagger philosophy, thrusting, stabbing, shanking, whatever you want to call it, then yeah, I could see why you might want to use something like this. I mean, it all depends what you're trained to do. You know, these are used differently. Okay, at longer range, this is a slasher. It's like an animal's claw. All right, it's a tip slasher. Whereas at longer range, something like this, it's much more of a punch. All right, or if you're doing reverse grip work, that's a peck. Okay, that's like a jabbing. That's a peck, and you know, this will mess up a knuckle, the back of a hand, if necessary. You know, you can go hunting for frickin' eyeballs. So you know, do you like the pecking and the punching, or are you more like cat slash type thing? Again, it really just comes down to what you're trained to do, what you prefer. All right. So in conclusion about this knife, you know, I would give it a solid B or a B plus. Do I think it's worth the like $50 that they currently sell it for? No, you know, but then again, I've rarely seen a boot dagger that I didn't like, and you know, the retention ring is a good idea. I think you could definitely use this for what they advertise it for. There's like a ton of small fixed blades in this category, so does this one stand out? You know, it's not like a superstar or anything. I'd say medium quality, medium price. If you need a boot dagger, sure, I get it. I think they should come down on the price a little. You know, the price probably will come down, like, as more of these go to more different stores and become available. But yeah, I'd give it a B, B plus. Hope you enjoyed this review. Stay tuned for many more. I'm out.